Okay. Okay, thank you. I'll try to make a short presentation I mean, like, basically, the case with Ecuador is a sort of peculiar case, even in the whole Latin America for a series of reasons. The first one being that so far there is no large-scale exploitation in Ecuador yet. The most advanced large-scale mining project is a copper project called Mirador. It's right on the border with Peru in a place called La Cordillera del Cóndor, like the mountains of the Condor, which actually divide Peru and Ecuador in the southern part of the Ecuadorian Amazon and the northern part of the Peruvian Amazon. But so far there is no extraction and mineral or mineral concentrate production in Ecuador. The mine of Mirador is expected to enter into operation next year. Nevertheless, there are a series of large-scale mining projects that have been going on for quite a long time. As in many other countries in Latin America and at a global scale, there has been in the 90s and even in the 2000s a series of neoliberal mining code generations which set the path towards the transformation of the Ecuador into a large-scale mining or industrial mining country. The thing is that, of course, in Ecuador we have had the so-called process of citizen revolution, which was the name of the political project of Rafael Correa. It is important to say, in my opinion, that for in many aspects, if you look at the mining sector, Korea's politics was a good continuation of what had been going on in the neoliberal era. For instance, most of the most important mining projects that had been developed in the 90s and in the 2000 decades were just perfectly there was a perfect continuation of this project between the previous administration and the Korea's administration. There had been a new mining law there has been a new mining law promulgated in 2009, right after the definition of a new constitution in 2008. And this new mining law, although it presented some interesting features, especially in terms of the possibility of the state to capture a little more of the mining rent, basically by the mean of an increase in taxes. These measures had been over the past year had been lowered and had been transformed by the Korea's government, the successive Korea's government. This, apart from this very important feature in terms of tax recaudation, most of the other features of the mining law have kept the feature of the neoliberal law, giving the usual rights to the mining companies that have that acquire mining concessions, the possibility to strong access to territories, the possibility to expropriate people living on the surface, etc., etc. maybe one of the things that has been different with Korea's administration is the fact that mining exploration has not been very a priority of the government. And this has been the case until the past 2 years or so. At this point, Korea's government realized that it was hard to attract mining investment and mining capitals in Ecuador without having without assuring a renewal of the resources and reserves. And that's why over the past 2 years, there has been a very strong new dynamics impulsed by the Ecuadorian government towards the opening of or reopening of Ecuadorian territories to concessions. And I think this is in that sense that one has to understand the presence of Ecuador in PDAC and the importance of Ecuador as a promoting country in PDAC last year and this year. We are right now in a period where we are in between two rounds of presidential election, and it seems that over the past months there's been a rush by the Korea's administration to secure the opening or a reopening of mining concessions. And in this reopening, I think Canada's companies and Canada's junior companies especially is ready to play a big role as usual. Why? In the first years of the Korea's administration, Canadian companies were sort of put aside by, for instance, Chinese mining companies that have taken the lead of the mining sector in Ecuador. I think also one has to understand that the strong institution that has been built by Korea and the strong state that has been built by Korea's government over the past decade, regarding the mining sector, is actually a construction of what I call a mineral state. That is to say, a state that put all its apparatus at the service of the mining sector and the mining foreign capital especially. In that sense, it's very hard to understand, especially from abroad, and I have sometimes some very intense debates with some colleagues abroad. It's very hard to understand the ambition or the discourse of Korea's government of making Ecuador an ecologist country, of making Ecuador a socialist country on one side, and on the other side, this high and intense promotion of foreign investments, as it has been the case in the worst years of the neoliberal era 20 years ago. And I think one of the big manifestation of that is the recent declaration of so-called exception state, which has been declared by the president by decree in one of the provinces, the Amazonian province of Ecuador, where there is a large-scale mining project and where there are right now some land dispossession of Shuar people, indigenous people, Amazonian indigenous people going on, and the government has put the military force and the police forces at the disposals and at the service of transnational mining interests in order to wipe out the territory from its ancestral people. And that is, I think, what it is about in terms of mining. When you look at the, I would say if you want to make a panorama of what has been going on in Ecuador in the past years. Just the state putting its apparatus at the service of transnational capitals, in that case, Chinese, Canadian, or Chilean interests. So I think that's basically the description I would do, and very short and very brief and very schematic in some ways of what has been going on and what is going on right now in Ecuador in terms of large-scale mining. Thank you.